Good evening. It is now a little past 6 p.m. on Monday, May 20th. Welcome to the Series Planning Commission meeting. Before we begin, Julian, would you please introduce our new city staff?
Good evening, Commission and members of the public. I would like to introduce Leah Silva as our Community Development Director and Michael White Belton as our City Engineer.
Thank you. Welcome. Public comments via Zoom have been suspended. Public comment during the meeting must be made in person. Members of the public may still view the meeting via Zoom. Could you call the order, please?
Yes, Commissioner Condit,
Here.
Commissioner Del Nero, Commissioner Johnson, Commissioner Catchell, and Chairperson Otero.
Here. Please join us for pledge of allegiance.
United States of America.
Conflict of interest declaration. Is there anyone on the commission that would like to declare conflict of interest? Okay, moving on, citizen communications. While the planning commission welcomes and encourages participation in planning commission meetings, adopted rules allow no more than 5 minutes for expression of non-agenda items. Matters in the jurisdiction of the planning commission and not the posted agenda may be addressed by the general public. However, California law prohibits the planning commission from taking action on any matter which is not on the posted agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the planning commission. Citizens are entitled to address the planning commission on any agenda items subject to the 5-minute provision. Is there anyone who would like to speak on any matter not included on the agenda? If so, please come to the podium and state your name for the record.
Good evening, Commissioners. John Moore, City of Surrey. I can't remember if I've mentioned this before. The members of the City Council have an email address that belongs to the city. So it's a city email address, but it's their own email. So if a member of the public wants to contact them in regards to an issue or to some thought about what might be going on in the community, they can reach out to that particular person, or they can develop a group, like a group email, and they may, as a citizen, want to address a concern that they feel the entire council should in the case of the commission, so there's no public email address for a member of the citizen or a member of the public to contact you. There's no way that I can reach out as a citizen and say, excuse me, this is my thought on the matter, may not be able to attend the meeting. And so I wanted to express my concern. And so I think when you are a paid position, as both council members and commissioners are, it's my understanding that I believe each one of the commissioners receives $50 a month from the city for their nominal expenses that they might incur. So that means you're a public employee. And I think the public should have access to you folks by email and as the city council does. So I know you personally can't address this issue this evening, but it's something you might consider speaking with the city council about, or quite possibly the city manager, and develop this so that the citizens can have access to send you folks email.
Thank you. Moving on to consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered routine nature and will be enacted by one motion. If discussion is required, that particular item will be removed from the consent calendar and will be considered separately. Is there anyone in the commission that would like a consent item pulled for discussion? Seeing none?
Second.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Catchell. Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Condit. Commissioner Del Nero.
Aye.
And Chairperson Otero.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Moving along to public hearings. Tonight we have number 5, 24-03, conditional use permit. Proposal for a conditional use permit entitlement to relocate the existing Kevin Snow building from the southwest portion of the parking lot to the northeast portion of the parking lot located at 2000 Central Avenue to allow a drive-through window and drive-through lanes up to 3 vehicles. CEQA status is exempt per section 15.332. Required action to adopt PC resolution number 24-11. Our senior planner, Teddy Hernandez, would you please present the staff report?
Yes. Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. This presentation is for Kevin Snow, application number 24-03, conditional use. 24-03 is a conditional use permit entitlement request to relocate the existing Kevin Snow building to allow a drive-through window and a drive-through lane for up to 2 vehicles. So we did reduce it from the last time. It was brought to planning commission from 3 vehicles to 2 vehicles. And the building relocation is approximately 20 feet to the north of where it's existing now, and to have a conditional use. This project is located at the southeast corner of Central Avenue in Pasco. This is the aerial vicinity map of the project area. Project is zoned neighborhood commercial and has general plan designation neighborhood. The surrounding land use for the property is the 76 gas station convenience store to the north, Bingo Hall to the south. Bingo Hall has a parking lot to the east, with residential on the other side of that, and to the west is a retail center. So here's the site plan showing the star shows the existing location of the snow building, and the rectangle above where the proposed location is where they're proposing to move it, which will be approximately 40 feet north of the driveway, which allows 2 and a fraction cars, so 2 cars can safely, one be the window, one be behind, and that driveway still be clear. The applicant is also proposing to make the most southern entrance on Central Avenue a one-way. So traffic enters the parking lot and then travels to the north and can exit out of the northernmost Central Avenue exit, or the one on the Castle Avenue. They are planning to parking lot restripes and painted to designate and show that there's one-way traffic, so the drive-through traffic and the market traffic are not crossing with each other and they're all going the same direction. Staff recommends to make the determination that the project is exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15332 in field development projects, and approve 24-03 conditional use permit subject to the findings and conditions contained in the attached draft resolution PC 24-11. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. The public hearing is now open. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment?
Afternoon. Sorry, I don't have my husband here or any of our family tonight. Our daughter's getting a special award. But, after our last meeting, we left, we kind of reviewed the parking lot since I've been there for 17 years. I pretty much have that parking lot. I'm very familiar with it, and I'm sure Bob is too, right? Because he walks by it every day. So just to be more safe, secure, and convenient for everybody, it just made more sense for us to stay where we're at, because we weren't even taking one parking spot. We're scooting down, we're gonna take up to 2 vehicles, orders. We're also going to be giving out pagers, so the vehicles can go to the right or to the left to park. We will be paging them to pick up the order at the front right window. We're also going to be, putting out a sign that's been indicated by the door where the 2 vehicles are going to be parked, no more than 2 vehicles to a legible for, to read. And with that being said, I think that after reviewing that with the architect coming out and all the measurements, the traffic flow going in one direction and floating to the right to exit and to the left, it just made more sense to take that initiative. And, we hope that this can be considered once and for all, and we can work with City of Syracuse. And, we are also very open to, if we can always, put a clause into this conditional use permit. And if anything occurs or any problems, any complaints, any accidents, we're willing for you guys to go ahead and re-pull that permit or that use for us. But again, since we've never had an issue, we've never had an accident, we've never had any problems, with the fact that 2020 was our busiest year ever with COVID, and that parking lot was bombarded, not one single complaint happened at that time. I think pretty much we have this, down to, with the site plan, with redoing the stripes, and also setting up the cement barrier that Bob had mentioned. Those are also on the site plan that we are willing to also put there for extra protection as well. And with that being said, pretty much this is it. Everything is on paper. If you guys have any questions, concerns, you're more welcome to also contact the architect. Unfortunately, he's out of town.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Good evening, Commissioner John Warren, City of Syracuse. All the same issues that existed last time the applicant came before you with the use permit, and it was denied, still exist. You can't make a 2-way parking lot into a 1-way parking lot, part of it, in 2 ways, and the other part. Changing the direction of parking is not going to change the fact that all the cars that have been coming and going through that business for the last 50 years are going to continue doing the same thing in the future. They're going to go 2 ways. There's 3 in and out exits, 2-way traffic at that particular location. I think the snow cone business is really, really great business. I think it's an asset to the community. But I don't really feel that a drive-through window in a 2-way parking lot is the right way to go. Moving the mobile business 20 feet to the north only moves all the problems that go with 2-way traffic 20 feet to the north. It doesn't correct the problem of head-on approach of vehicles leaving the parking lot with some no way that they can control the number of people that are in that drive-through lane. You can call it a 2-lane drive-through, but when traffic backs up out on Central Avenue, there's no way to control it. There's also the problem I have asked a little bit about is the number of parking spaces that are required for each business on that property. You have the snow cone business that requires a certain number of parking spots. You have the grocery store business that requires a certain number of parking spots. You have the junkyard business where people recycle stuff on the south side of that building that requires a certain number of parking spaces. And you also have the windmill water dispensing business that requires a certain number of parking spaces. In this staff report, there's no indication on the total number that are required, how many each business is supposed to have. This is a new permit that's being brought to your attention, and I would think all the new rules that City of Sirius have adopted would go with that new permit, such as the fact that this is a mobile business, and mobile businesses are required to have a certain number of parking spaces. The food trucks around town have to have 2.5 parking spaces per food truck. How many is this business supposed to have? So that's all in question and is not answered in the staff report. How many handicap spaces are required? I would think each business would have 1 space minimum for each business. But I don't know what those rules are. In this case, with 4 businesses on the property, I would think that there should be at least 4 handicap parking spaces strategically placed near the businesses that they would serve. These are questions that you folks have to ponder, I guess, and wonder about. The electrical cord that serves this business is plugged into the utility pole there. That cord is going to now be, what, 20 feet longer? So what size will it have to be to carry the current? The further away from the electrical source, the heavier gauge that cord has to be. There's nothing in here that addresses those issues. So thank you very much. It's a question that is going to be difficult for you folks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Seeing none? I will, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm supposed to go on, and I can say that I've been in this for 10 years. I am a single mom of 4 children, and I can tell you that my children, since the first one to the fourth one, their favorite dessert is even snow. It's a combination that is being presented at the drive-thru. I can tell you, as a single mother juggling with 4 children, that is a very convenient, a way to treat their children. I mean, just in itself, I find it hard to get into the doctor's office. I mean, any single parent can probably can imagine just that it's a struggle. But having something that's convenient that you can just, drive through or having to brought to you, not having to take one child because one's sleeping, or because maybe one maybe has, for example, have a child who has seizures, he cannot be unattended. But I can tell you that with this accommodation, it will be, at least for a single parent community, because I know there's a lot of us, that would be really, really helpful. It would relieve stress, worriness. And at the end of the day, I look for my children, I want to make them happy. Honestly, having snow is like the only, I wouldn't say it's healthy because it's not so much sugar, but they really enjoy it. We enjoy it and we want to continue supporting this business. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? No? Okay, we'll bring it back. Actually, was there any emails?
No, I haven't received any.
Thank you. We'll bring it back to the commission for discussion and questions. I'm sorry, public comment. Bring it back to the commission. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure if, you've seen the parking spots that were drawn out by the architect. There's exactly an indication of all the parking spots were accounted for, measured, And everything seemed that it was up to par with the engineering, and architect, he drew everything out. So the best way that he can, draw it out was the way he has it. And as far as parking goes, there's plenty of parking out there. I know the counts should be on the plan side as well. That's it.
Thank you. I'll just ask one more time, is there any other public comment? Okay, closing public comment, we'll bring it back to the commission.
So when the building was originally constructed, yes, it had adequate parking. Right now, our code states that we calculate for retail square footage, not storage. That is what we go by the current code, it has 40 parking spots, and that's what's required for the retail portion.
The electrical cord is drivable, is that gonna be underground eventually, or is that gonna remain uncomplicated?
It'll remain on the ground, just secure it to the ground.
So it looks like, there can be conditions put in place. So if there's any complaints or anything like that, then we agree with the drive-through.
Yeah, so we already have any conditions of approval that if you receive any complaints or anything like that. I mean, SAG and should have the right to review it and revoke it if it did. And we also have the condition that she cannot operate the drive-through until the parking lot is restricted, like everything is in place to meet the conditions for it.
Thank you. Questions?
Now, having said that, it's kind of a standard condition.
Question on this? We are second.
So I would say, if it has to be, we can call it, should we not have a second, the motion will die on the floor, and then we can have somebody make a motion, if they're different type of motion, and motion will come out. I would assume that second, the motion dies, oh, motion will.
So that motion dies for record.
At this point, I guess I would ask if there were commissioner questions, to allow you to be able to make a motion this evening, we're not gonna take those questions, but we will need some sort of motion for the board now this evening, so that we can have those one. So we're having two more questions, be comfortable either way. I guess I'm just volunteer some information that I feel like I can't fully share. You know, she's been at that location for 17 years. She's very familiar with the parking lot. You know, they're concerned about, we can't make people drive different ways and restrict it. And that's
point of striking the parking lot, you have to drive over the parking lot, it is an ins and out of the appropriate signage posted. Changing the driveway from an in only to out only. The applicant also talked about her use of a pager system. So if she sees that the queuing line is getting too long, she will provide those individuals with a pager and they have to go and park. She's not into little drive-through. She is, mostly a walk-up business. She's been doing this, as she said, for 17 years. So staff is comfortable making a recommendation for this. So the few individuals that choose to be drive-through, patrons, that they have the opportunity to do so without making her out of compliance with her. So basically, this CUP allows those few customers, this isn't a Starbucks, this isn't going to be, you know, super moms. This is a snow cone shack that has an occasional drive-through customer, and we feel the changing of the striping, allowing the two-part queuing accounts for those few times that she may experience a drive-through user. I think she has a better understanding of her business than any of us. She knows who her clientele are, she knows how often she's having a drive-through individual come up, and it doesn't sound like you're going to have a sense of queuing issues. So we feel comfortable that she would address our concerns, and I think the concerns from the prior meeting with the restriping of the parking lot, the restrictions of not being able to open until that restriping is done. So there's other things that we feel we haven't addressed, we would like to discuss them, or we can bring the applicant back up. We're not committing it, sorry.
I'll second it.
Well, we would have to have a review motion. Yeah.
With that.
Is there any other comments or questions that we have? Can we get a motion on this?
I'll make a motion. Let's make a determination project is exempt from environmental. Section 15332 for infill project. From CAP 24.
We can't hear you. Excuse me. We can't hear you out. Please.
I will make a recommendation that we make a determination the project is exempt from the environmental review pursuant to CEQA guideline section 15332 infill development projects. Approved CUP 24-03 conditional use permit subject to the findings and conditions contained in the attached draft resolution EC 24-1.
Yes.
I'll second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Catchell. Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Condit.
Aye.
Commissioner Del Nero.
Aye.
And Chairperson Otero.
Okay.
Motion carries 5-0.
It looks like we're seeing no new business. Public meeting, none, unfinished business, none. Matters initiated by planning commission staff, none. Does the commission have anything to report? I don't have anything to report. City attorney or city staff?
We'll see if the attorney wants to say anything. And there's I just want to say thank you to all. I'm looking forward to working with you and running smooth planning commission. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We will work on that. Thank you very much. Just waiting to see if maybe wants to respond. Thank you, okay.
Thank you. The next regularly scheduled planning commission meeting will be held on Monday, June 3rd. This meeting is now adjourned.